In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can make a working main menu in Roblox Studio, so let's get into it. First things first, we need to make the play button. Go to Starter GUI and insert a Screen GUI. In that Screen GUI, insert a frame. Now, you can resize the frame to whatever you like, but I'm just going to resize it to the full screen. And there we go. Now, inside the frame, you're going to add a text button. You can move the text button to wherever you like. I'm just going to put it in the middle. Now it's time for customizing it. I'm not going to spend too much time customizing mine, but I'm just going to make this say play. I'm going to make sure text scaled is on so it's bigger. I'll change the font to Luckiest Guy, and I will change the background color to a black color. Actually, I'm going to change it to let's do a green color instead. A green color. And here I'm going to add in a UI corner. This is just so I can customize it even more. And I'm going to add in a UI stroke. And now I'm going to change this UI stroke to border. And I will increase the thickness to 3. Okay, there we go. That's my play button. Now, inside the play button, add in a local script. And now it's time to start scripting. So delete the default code there and type what I type. So first we're going to make a variable for the button. So I'm going to say button equals script dot parent. Okay, now that we have a variable for a button, now we're going to write button dot mouse button one click colon connect function. And now that we have our function for whenever you press the button, inside the function, we're going to say, actually, let's also make a variable for the frame. Frame equals script. Actually, no, let's say frame equals button dot parent. There you go. Okay, now that we have our frame, we're gonna say frame dot visible equals false. We're also going to say button dot visible equals false. And now let's test this out. So when we play the game here, and we load into our game here, whenever we load in, when we press play, it should close that out. Alright, now that we have our play button situated, now let's make a new button. So we're gonna select the button, Control D, and I'll move it down so we have a duplicate of our button. Now for this button, I'm going to make this say something different. This one we're gonna say credits. So there's gonna be the credits for our game. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to inside our credits, we already have our script, so delete the local script code from the other script, and now we're gonna type in something new here. So first, let's get our button again. Button equals script dot parent, and now let's also get the okay, so now that we have our button there, we're going to inside here, we're gonna add another frame inside the frame. And now let's make this another color. Let's make this black so we can see it. And now let's make this about however big you want. I'm just gonna make it like this. And now I can add whatever else I want into it. Like I'll just add a text label, and I can make this say credits. I'm gonna make this say credits, and I'm gonna text scale this so it's big. Change this font to Luckiest Guy. And let's just remove the background, so make the background transparency 1, and let's change the text color to a white color now. And let's also make, actually no, that's it, that's our credits tab now. And now inside our frame, we're gonna add in a text button as well. This is going to be our close button, so I'm gonna make this like that on the side. Inside the properties, change the button text to X, text scale it, and now make it to make the font to Luckiest Guy, make the background color to red, and there we go. We have our close button here. Just to make it look a little bit better, I'm gonna add in a UI corner, and there you go. So now that's our close button. I'm gonna rename this close button to close button, just so it's easier to identify. And now that we have our frame, I'm going to rename this whole frame to credits frame. So now make sure you check this visible uncheck this visible property so it's not visible on the credits frame. Now let's go back to our script, and now let's get our variable for our frame here. So we're gonna say frame equals button dot parent, and then dot credits frame. So now that we have our frame here for our credits frame, let's say button dot mouse button one click colon connect function. So we're making a function for when you press the button, and now inside our function, let's say we're gonna make it where when you press the button, it opens up the credits frame. So now let's say credits, actually no, we're supposed to say frame dot visible equals true. So it's gonna check the visible property once we press that. And now let's script our close button, so we can close the scripts out, go inside our credits frame, okay, and then add in a local script inside the close button, and we're gonna do the same thing. So let me just open up the other scripts. I'm going to copy this, go back into our new script, but this time we're gonna say we're going to delete that and say frame dot visible equals false, and let's also change the frame property to dot credits. Actually no, frame equals button. Okay, now we need to do, okay, actually, you know what, this is fine. Button dot parent, we know that we're talking about credits frame. Okay, now that we have our close button script in, done. Now let's test this out. So so before I press play, let's press credits. It opens this up. When we press this, it closes it out, and we can still press play to play the game. And now it's time for our loading screen. So let me just customize the background of this real quick to, let's just say, a blue color, like blue, like that. And if you notice, whenever we play the game, the GUI is like kind of like this instead of fully up here. If you want to fix that, just move it down a bit, move this up a bit, and then move it back into the middle like that, and that should have fixed that problem. And I don't really know why it does that, but one more thing is select the entire frame, go to plugins, and then go to auto scale light, and then add a unit conversion, and then scale the position and size. This is a plugin. If you want the plugin, I'll put it in the description, or you can go over to your plugins over on your toolbox. So go to plugins, and then you can search up auto scale light. Actually, hold up, let me see. Let me search up auto scale, I think. Yeah, okay, I don't know, I can't find the one that I use, but I will put that in the description for you guys. I don't know if it was removed or not, but I'll put in, if I find it, I'll put it in the description, the auto scale light, or you could download other plugins that do the same thing. It doesn't have to be this specific plugin. But once you have a plugin that can scale your GUI, what that means is whenever we go to device now, we press device, the frame will be, because you see how these buttons are over here. If I was to go down to these buttons and select a button, and then scale the position and size, and do the same thing for the other one, now what it does is now it will be in the middle for any device instead of it being over here. The only reason it puts it in a different location on another device is because the device like window here is a lot bigger on computer than it is on mobile, so it will be in the same spot, just in a different position, since the screen on mobile is smaller. So this plugin fixes it. Okay, so now that we've done that, now it's for now it's time for us to make the loading screen. Let me just rename this to main menu, and then this one is going to be our loading screen. So now in here, we're going to add in a frame, do the same thing. I'm going to make this, maybe like that big, and then move this up a bit so it doesn't do that thing again. And now we fix that like that. Okay, so now that we have our frame here, let's make this like a blue color like that. And now let's put inside of here, we're going to put in a text label. grab that text label and then move it into the, let's say right there. Make this a little bit bigger. And now let's customize this text to say loading. And now we're going to text scale this, and we're going to change this to luckiest guy and delete or make the background transparent. There we go. Now inside the text label, we're going to add in a local script, and now in here we're going to delete the default code. First, we're going to get a variable for our text label, so we're going to say label equals script and then dot parent. And now we're going to get one for our frame, so frame equals label dot parent. So now we have our frame there as well. And now let's say label dot text equals, and then in a string we're going to write in our text, so it's going to say loading. And now let's copy that, add a wait under here, and now we're going to just wait 1 second before it changes. Under that we're going to add another one, and then this one we're going to add a dot, 2 dots here, and actually in the other first one I'm going to add 1 dot. I'm going to copy this, and we're going to paste under here, add in a wait 1 second. Let's add let's add in 3 dots, actually now 4 dots. And now it should make an animation that should last 30 seconds. And then when this is done, we should say frame dot visible equals false, and then we're gonna say label dot visible equals false. So now this should last 3 seconds since we waited 1 second each, and then once this is done, it should make these two invisible. So when we join the game, everything should work out, and so it does our little animation thing there, and then it adds this here. Okay, so as you can see here, it still is like clipping over there. You just have to play around with the little settings, like the scaling of the GUI. I'm not too sure why it does this, why it makes a little like entrance up there. So just play around with the settings until you find a scale that works for you. So this still works like that, and then when we play, it works. So now we have our main menu thing there, and you can also add in a text in your main menu for your game name as well. So that's how you make a simple main menu in Roblox Studio, guys. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.